Good day everyone! Welcome to Bahay Aralan. For this video, we will be learning about adverbs of frequency. What are adverbs of frequency? These are adverbs that tell us how often we do things or how often things happen. For example, Ava always turns off the lights before going to bed. In the sentence, the adverb of frequency is always. Why? Because it answers the question, how often does Ava turn off the lights before going to bed? Right? Another example. Brian drinks wine occasionally. The adverb of frequency in this sentence is occasionally. It means every once in a while or from time to time. It answers the question, how often does Brian drink wine? Is it clear? Now, I will show you sentences and try to identify the adverbs of frequency. Meaning, you have to look for the words that tell how often or how many times or how frequently things are done or happen. Is it clear? Let's start. I seldom travel alone. The adverb of frequency in this sentence is seldom. It answers the question, how often do I travel alone? By the way, seldom means once in a while or in few instances. Okay? Next. I rarely buy expensive clothes. The adverb of frequency in this sentence is rarely. It tells how often I buy expensive clothes. Rarely means not often or seldom. Next. Usually, I take a bus to work. The adverb of frequency here is usually. It tells how often I take a bus to work. How about this? Jenna pays her bills monthly. The answer is monthly. It tells how frequently Jenna pays her bills. Next. I never go out at night without any companion. The answer is never. It answers the question, how many times or how often do I go out at night without any companion? Okay? Next. My dad receives his salary fortnightly. What do you think is the answer? It is fortnightly. It is another way of saying every 2 weeks. Okay? Next. I hardly ever eat cheese-flavored snacks. What do you think is the answer? It is hardly ever. It means very rarely. Another one. The buses in this station leave hourly. The adverb of frequency in this sentence is hourly. It tells how often the buses leave. It is another way of saying every hour. Is it clear? Last one. Elon goes on a vacation abroad annually. The adverb of frequency in this sentence is annually. It is another way of saying every year or yearly. Now, aside from the ones given, here are some other adverbs of frequency. Of course, the word often. We also have frequently, normally, generally, regularly, constantly, periodically, daily, quarterly, biannually, which means 2 times a year. We also have once, twice, thrice, and so on. Now, as you may have observed in the activity, adverbs of frequency have different positions in sentences. Some of them are placed at the beginning, some are in the middle, while some are at the end. Does this mean that we can place them wherever we want in sentences? The answer is no. because there are a few rules to follow. First one, an adverb of frequency should be placed before the main verb or the action verb. For example, Ray often submits his reports late. As you can see, the adverb of frequency often is placed before the action verb, which is submits. Another one, the teachers constantly remind their students to observe cleanliness. The adverb of frequency constantly in this sentence is placed before the action verb, which is remind. Is it clear? Next, an adverb of frequency should be placed between the auxiliary verb like is, are, was, were, has, have, can, could, would, should, or must, and the main verb. For example, they should always follow the class rules. As you can see, the adverb of frequency always is placed between the auxiliary verb should and the main verb follow. Another one, we would usually play hide and seek when we were younger. The adverb usually is placed between the auxiliary verb would and the main verb play. Now let us have the adverbs of frequency that can be placed at the beginning of sentences. These are sometimes, usually, often or oftentimes, normally, and occasionally. Let us have an example. Sometimes my older sister picks me up from school. As you can notice, the adverb of frequency sometimes is placed at the beginning of the sentence. Another example. Oftentimes, Malia cooks breakfast for her children. The adverb of frequency oftentimes is put at the beginning of the sentence. Now, some adverbs can also be placed at the end of the sentences, like weekly, monthly, yearly, frequently, regularly, sometimes, and occasionally. For example, Alan travels frequently. The adverb frequently here is placed at the end of the sentence. Last example, the teacher meets with the parents quarterly. As you can observe, the adverb of frequency quarterly is put at the end of the sentence. So, is it clear? That said, that would be all for this video. Thank you for watching. Stay safe.